Somebody, you need to understand that God doesn't leave anything unfinished. But can I be real with you? It may not be finished with you if you disobey. Okay. He doesn't, what? You got to stay with me. I'm trying to teach you right now. I feel like Professor Mike right now, okay? He doesn't leave anything unfinished. But if you're disobedient, it won't be finished with you. Ask the children of Israel, who he tried to get to the promised land in 11 days. He had to let 2 million people die so he could see what he started finished with their children. And the saddest thing for all of us right now would for God to give us a promise that we fight against to the point where he has to choose our children. I'm gonna let that sit there. He promised that he'd do it for you, but you keep your list preeminent over God's purpose. And so he's saying to you right now, you can have your list. And then I'm gonna ask your children to do what I ask you to do. You can keep that, and I'm too old, and I got this, and this happened to me, and this is my excuse. Or you can say, I'm ripping my list. I'll start from here. I'm 56 years old. It don't matter. I'm gonna go with God because he can redeem the time. He could have took that 11-day journey and put them in the promised land, but instead it was a 40-year death. And then their children, the Bible, you can read it. He said anybody under the age of 20 will be able to see it. But all those people who disobeyed me and created other idols and created other gods and made sports and television and money and boats and houses, they made those the gods. He said, you're going to die with all of that. And then I'll have to ask your children to do what I was supposed to do. All the devastation we're seeing in the world right now is because fathers didn't do what they were supposed to do 40 years ago. All the stuff that we're seeing right now in families is because the people before us, they passed up the opportunity to do it God's way, and they thought everything that they had was more than what God had for them. But baby, I'm telling you, there's a generation of about 45,000 people watching right now that is saying, I'm not gonna do this. You're gonna have the gumption like they did in the Old Testament. If you don't go, we're not going. So we're ripping up our list.